welcome to the second Talk for Nature at the Mediterranean Corner from the UN Biodiversity Conference in Montreal. For the second talk, we will tell you about the MedFund, a conservation trust fund to improve the management of marine protected areas in the Mediterranean. And to talk about this MedFund, we have Ms. Puri, the president of MedPAN, the network of managers of marine protected areas, managers in the Mediterranean, and Khalil, ATTIA, the director of SPARAG, the Center of Specially Protected Areas of the Barcelona Convention. So welcome, Khalil and Puri. And to start this talk, I would ask Khalil, so please could you present the MedFund and its objectives in few words?
Thank you. Well, the MedFund was created in 2015 when there was an initiative among 3 countries, France, Monaco and Tunisia, in order to create a trust fund to contribute to improve the effective management of MPAs in the Mediterranean, because at that time the total surface of the Mediterranean that was concerned was not more than 7% compared to Aichi target 11, 10%. It was way behind, and particularly because the management was not actual, and more than 85% of the MPAs to contribute also to in the everyday management, particularly with giving means and financial support for everyday management, like patrolling over the MPA, implementing monitoring, scientific monitoring, consultations among stakeholders, communication, consultations among stakeholders, communication, to contribute to the effective management of Mediterranean MPAs.
Well, thank you, Khalil, for this overview. I would now address Puri, and what is the added value, in your point of view, of this trust fund, MedFund, for the Mediterranean region?
Thanks, Souha. I think this is a very important question. What's the added value? Because people may think, okay, the marine protected areas are 99% or more established by the governments of the countries around the Mediterranean, and they have their ministries and they have the budget, so they should just put the resources for the management. And why do we need an external actor here? The fact is that even this is the theory, but the practice is that the management lacks of a lot of resources. So it's a cartographic exercise, but not a management exercise, what we are doing. So we really, the interest of the MedFund is to start bringing resources to those more critical MPAs that with enough resources, or at least some resources for management, could immediately prove the great value they have. And by proving the value of a good management, we hope we will motivate governments to mobilize more resources in the future, because often it's not so obvious what is the value, but it's only obvious when you manage properly. If not, it's just a place with some restrictions. But the MedFund provides funds there, management can start, and the value of the MPA can be shown. And this is a way to also help the managers to be more trained, to be more aware on how they can take care of the ecosystems in each MPA. So this for me is the added value, is just anticipating the recognition of the great value of those MPAs by managing them properly.
If I can add, in terms of added value, I think that there is another added value that brought the MedFund is the co-management, because co-management is to have management that is shared among non-governmental organizations, together with the governmental organizations that are normally and generally speaking are in charge of the management of MPAs. So this approach has brought a lot of advantages, because just because the NGOs and governmental agencies complete each other, and NGOs can bring assets that the governmental organizations can't bring, just to talk about flexibility, to talk about convening the different stakeholders in a less official and official way. So I think this is also another aspect that is not negligible.
Great, this makes a lot of sense. Co-management with NGOs and motivation and effective management on the... This brings me to ask you, Khalil, how do you see the future of the MedFund?
Yeah, well, I see. I'm very optimistic about MedFund. Yeah, just because let's take a look at its present situation. MedFund strategy for the decade of 2016-2025 set to intervene to support 20 MPAs, and now, so far, we have 15 already MPAs supported by the MedFund. 3 have already been selected to be supported, and a new window has been opened to support highly protected MPAs, which is the supreme form of conservation, as you know. So, in terms of institutional situation, 6 countries are Mediterranean countries are members of the MedFund, and 9 organizations, national, regional, and international. And MedFund has 6 financial partners working and supporting financially the MedFund. So the 30 by 30 target will be the most important framework for the MedFund to intervene, and I think MedFund has a very important role to play in supporting, because now it has a focus on the south part and eastern part of the Mediterranean, because 85, not less than 85% of the actual presently so far existing MPAs are in the northwestern part of the Mediterranean. So the task to have a balance between north and south, and to sustain the management of the southern MPAs in the Mediterranean has a very important is a very important priority for the MedFund, and I think that with that, MedFund has a lot of work to do.
Great, a huge mission for the MedFund. So to conclude this talk, I would ask Puri, what message would you like to convey to the world concerning this MedFund?
No, I think my message is that we need to join forces to mobilize resources for taking care of our ocean, and in our case, our Mediterranean, especially since the message is for the world, so I'm talking about the ocean. I think there is enough resources in the world. but we have not been able to mobilize them. And by this kind of mechanism, such as the MedFund and other conservation trust funds targeting marine conservation, we can really be more effective, because we need the resources, but we also need good strategies to then apply the resources. So that's a part also of the role of the MedFund, to have a strategy, a criteria, a program of action, a cooperation with all the other international actors in the Mediterranean. And this helps to really be very target-oriented and very effective in the application of those funds. So I think my message is this: join forces, mobilize resources, work together, identify the most urgent things to do, and do it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Puri CANALS and Khalil ATTIA, members of the board of director of the MedFund, for this informative talk. And so thank you also for the audience, and we wish long life for the MedFund and a lot of money. Thank you.
Thank you.